one of just 320 produced, one family owner from new, first production car with ABS brakes and four-wheel drive. What is it and what's it worth? Let's find out. Welcome to Lot 76 Cars. My name's Simon. Today we're at the iconic auctioneer's first sale of 2026. We've got a fabulous show for you here today. I'm going to take you around the show. I'm going to show you my picks, like this fabulous Pantera. We're going to tell you what the guide price is, and we're also going to tell you what they actually sold for. So keep watching to find out. Enjoy the show. So some viewers may have seen this car, this very car, on the UK Barn Finds channel, and it was dragged out of a garage, and it's a one owner from new. Your eyes do not deceive you. It is in fact a Jensen FF, the Ferguson Formula four-wheel drive Jensen with the Harry Ferguson derived 4x4 system. First car with a production car, supercar, with four-wheel drive and with anti-lock brakes. Now this car was owned by a gentleman from new, taken back to the Jensen factory for service, and he commuted between the Isle of Man and somewhere in the Midlands. Now these cars are super special. The car is longer than the normal Jensen, and the giveaway, the gills on the side, the extra length is also a little bit of a giveaway here. I think that's to accommodate the drive shafts for the four-wheel drive. So substantially different cars in terms of drivetrain. Engine not. This one, lot 758, is guided at a not unreasonable £30,000 to £35,000. However, what you need to remember is the amount of work this car is going to take. Now, fully restored, what would this be worth with this provenance? Well over £100,000, but you probably are going to put 40 or 50 into it. It looks relatively solid. I suspect it's, oh, it is open. Oh, complete with a full array of cobblers. Think what you could do with this car, but it's going to take an incredible amount of money, isn't it, to put this one back together in the way it should be. These were hand built. I understand that you might find both sides of the car don't actually match up completely. It certainly wasn't using computer aided design. What will it make? What's your guess? Well, let's find out now, shall we? So lot 701 is offered without reserve, which is quite a brave move for a Ferrari. It is a manual. It's a 360 Modena. It's a manual. It has got a guide price of £30,000 to £40,000, but bear in mind it's a Spider, although it's a manual Spider. It's been off the road for some years. It's going to need recommissioning. Now, a belts service, belts and a normal service, you're probably into a couple of £1,000 at least. Ferrari experts will tell me different. Needs little bits of bodywork here and there. It's not necessarily perfect. And you've got a 15% buyer's premium. Now, I've seen these advertised for £60,000, £70,000, in some cases less. What do you think? Is that worth the risk of recommissioning that car? Seems a lot of money, but let's see, shall we? To bridge the gap between the 356 Porsche and the six-cylinder 911, Porsche came up with this great idea of the 912 Porsche. So very similar look to the 911, in fact often mistaken for that one. I think produced mainly for the US market from memory. I could be wrong. This one's left-hand drive like many of them. Now the interesting thing with this car is that this is a short wheelbase version. There was a short and a long wheelbase. Yeah, it's true, because the handling was apparently a bit twitchy. They added a little bit more length to the vehicle, and it mainly went here. I think it's pretty indistinguishable unless you get your tape measure out there. This is a short wheelbase car, so probably a bit, little bit of one of the twitchy ones, but with a four-cylinder engine, you're probably not going to get into too much trouble with it. It does look to be in a lovely colour. sort of a period grey, but a grey that's probably very on trend now. Let's have a look what that one is guided at. I can't remember, I'm going to have a look with you as well. And it is guided at 38 to 45,000 pounds. That's quite a lot, really. It says it's a rare car. Well, it is. It's a short wheelbase car. They produced for a relatively a short period of time. What will it make? Well, let's see, shall we? You'd certainly catch a few eyes with that one, wouldn't you? Let's see what the market reckons. Does it agree with us? An Escort Cosworth, I hear you cry. Yes, it is, but this one is what's called a motorsport base model. Stripped of aircon, stripped of a radio, thicker metal in some places, and designed for conversion to motorsport. Sold to the Ford dealer network back in the day. This one's covered 81,000 miles, but unusually it's in Oralis blue, and most of the motorsport cars were in white, so you could put the sponsors' logos on. Now, it does look in incredibly good order. As you can imagine, lot 708 is guided at fairly strong money, 50 to 60,000 pounds. But if you look at the quality of the paintwork, it doesn't look like it's seen any rally stages, does it? In fact, it looks pretty, I would say it looks pretty flawless. What do you think? I'm next to it and I can't see too many blemishes on it. The later cars had a smaller turbo, I think it less power but more improved throttle response, if I can say it. But this one is beautiful. Is it worth 50 to 60,000 pounds? Being a motorsport base and relatively rare? It could well be, couldn't it? What's your best guess? Well, let's find out what the bidders think, shall we? So right at the end of Lancia Delta Integrale production, apparently some Japanese dealers for Lancia visited the factory and they came away with an agreement to produce 250 of these so-called Lancia Delta HF Integrale Evo 2 Edition Final. Now this one, lot 709, is guided at 130 to 150,000 pounds. Now it's a lot, but the paintwork is pretty flawless, and you've got one rare car, one of 250. Unlikely to see so many of these in Europe. As I said, most were sold in Japan. If it's been in Japan for a number of years, hopefully the have been protected from the horrible salt we have on European roads. It's an incredible looking car, isn't it? I mean, the condition of this one, the glass looks to be all original. It's got Lancia stamps in the glass. Indicates it's not had glass. Probably the badging is correct. I guess you could check that out. I like that a lot, but you could buy many cars here and still have lots of change from 135 to 155,000 pounds. What do you think? Is it worth that sort of money? Let's see. Guided at 20 to 25,000 pounds. That's a lot for a Clio. Lot number 711. Is it worth it? Well, it is a Clio Williams Mark 1. So they originally planned to produce, I think, 3,500 of these for homologation purposes, went on to produce many more. And much to the dismay of people who bought the Clio 1, the Clio 1s are worth considerably more. I think it's about 138 horsepower, something like that. Although it's got the Williams badge in, the Williams Formula 1 team didn't have an awful lot to do with it. I think it had nothing to do with it, in actual fact. This one is in absolutely beautiful order. I believe that the original cars had one shade of blue, where the Series 3 cars had a slightly different shade, but I'll let you put that in the comments if you've got one or know a bit more. The Speedline alloys look in fabulous order. All the decals are correct. The paint has got a very deep shine to it. It looks to be a very, very honest car. Apparently they handle like an absolute dream. I've never had the pleasure. If you had, then please let me know. But is somebody going to stump up that sort of money for a hot hatch from the early 90s? Let's see, shall we? So lot 715 is TVR Griffith's finest. It's the 500 SE. So these had some of the later seats, I think, from the Sibera, and I think a slightly different dashboard. But this is a particularly rare car. And in fact, it's apparently the sixth car of 100 finished, my research tells me, in Rolex blue. Well, if that's Rolex blue, then if there's a Timex blue, then maybe I would know it, but certainly not Rolex blue. It's got the 5-litre Rover-based engine, as you'd expect, bored out. I think the 350 horsepower, something like that, very lightweight. Oh, I love that. Annoying the neighbours since 1965. Absolutely. These are loud, loud, loud. And probably, I would argue, this is one of the prettier cars that they made, the Griffith. Let's have a quick look inside as well. A lot of the parts are milled aluminium, so they to avoid you reusing other manufacturers' switchgear. So you'll see milled aluminium for virtually everything inside, and that makes it quite a special place to be. Dashboard looks in good condition, as do the seats. That would be an incredible car to own. I do love that duotone upholstery in there, Griffith tread plates. Yeah, it does look, certainly from that cursory look, well, it's still got the original glass in there because it's got TVR on there, which is always a nice sign. Is it worth 35 to 45,000 pounds? Well, quite possibly it is. It's a great looking car, isn't it, from the front? What a lot of menace that's got. Well, let's see what the bidders think of it in the auction, shall we? So I hope you've enjoyed the video of Iconic Auctioneer's first auction of 2026 so far. Plenty more cars to see. If you have liked the video, please like, share and subscribe. And if you consider the hype in the video, then it would make sure that a lot more viewers got to actually see it. So without further ado, on with the show. So this is the second Cosworth that's in the show, and this one might spark some buying fever. Lot number 720 is guided at, wait for it, 100 to 120,000 pounds, but it's got 3,000 miles on the clock. It's Imperial blue. It is the so-called small turbo version. I think I've mentioned elsewhere in the video. This one's probably not open, understandably. But the small turbo version was a bit more tractable to drive. I think you lost a little bit of power. But this Imperial blue example is flawless. Is it worth twice what the Motorsport prepared one is elsewhere in the video? I don't know. What do you think? I mean, would you even use it if it had got mileage like that? Because the value is in the mileage, isn't it? And unfortunately, once you start putting miles on and using it, then it does lose that value. It is beautiful, I can see from my brief walk round, but 100 grand at least? I don't know. What do you think? Has the Ford tax gone mad? So 30 to 40,000 pounds looks like ambitious pricing for lot number 721, a 2000 Mini Cooper. But it's got, and you won't believe me otherwise, 60 miles from new. It is as near to new as you could possibly get, though some of the paintwork in places looks decidedly factory. May well have, oh, that's interesting, isn't it, really? Not sure what's happened with the rails, whether they actually left the factory like that or it has had a bit of work. But essentially it's been stored, supplied by a company called Dixon's, long since gone. Trader up in the north of the UK, still bearing their stickers. It is one of the very last cars made, and very few were made in British Racing Green. The milled aluminium fittings in there, swirled aluminium dashboards, even got a CD player in there. Oh, it does smell like new. If you could put a smell track on this video, then this would be new car smell a la year 2000. Is it worth that money? Well, I think I could get an awful lot of car in this auction, or two, for 30 to 40,000 pounds. Let's see, shall we? And this time we have got a 356, so supplied, apparently new to a customer in 57 in Munich, is this beautiful 356, lot number 723. Now it's guided at pretty chunky 70 to 80,000 pounds, and the reason being it has been completely upgraded to 356A Coupe lightweight, and it's a homage of the GT that was very successful in the endurance racing back in the 50s and early 60s. It is It's been beautifully done. The paintwork is as good as it looks on camera, and you can't always say that. I've seen many examples in the past that are not. Of course, it's fully prepared and ready to go. There's no handles on the doors. We've just got a leather strap there. Very nicely finished inside. That leather does smell nice, actually. Roll cage. Bit of storage space, stroke seats in the back for those long distance trips. And that's nice. A grab handle there as well. Yeah, it is lovely. It is lovely. Somebody has really looked after that or prepared it well. And the door, listen to this. It shuts like a bank vault, doesn't it? What an incredibly nice looking car that one is. I do like that one as well. It might be a recreation, but honestly, it's been done very well, hasn't it? Well, what will people make of that one? Let's see, shall we? So Audi did build a shortened version of their Quattro to keep them competitive in rallying, and those cars are worth $500,000 upwards. This isn't one of them. This is a replica. So, I mean, at its crudest possible, probably somebody's taken an angle grinder to a normal Quattro and converted it into one of these shorties. I'm not sure, depending how well that's been done. As you can see, you know, there are areas on this one where I would suggest it's perhaps not quite as tidy as it could be. And consequently, the price is not $500,000, the price is considerably less. Now, I have seen these go for reasonable money. I think one sold for certainly well over 100 grand. I seem to remember back at the iconic auction at the end of last year. Hopefully it's not the same car, maybe it is. And in actual fact, lot number 725 is guided at 70 to 90. You know, I still feel that's ambitious pricing for something that is a replica. Maybe I'm completely wrong. What do you think? Will it reach that guide price of somewhere between 70 and 90,000 pounds? Well, let's see, shall we? So prices are down at the moment. This W113 Pagoda might be a steal. It's guided at 50 to 60,000 pounds. It is a left-hand drive car. Will it do as well as that? Introduced, I think, in 61 at the Geneva Motor Show. Absolutely total elegance. This is the 280, the more desirable, supposedly 280. We'll take a look inside. Absolutely so elegant, aren't they? Many famous people had these. Tommy Steele, some people may remember, or maybe it's only me. More modern times, a lot of Formula One drivers have had them as their own personal cars because they're just so classy. You've got that beautiful horn ring in the middle. You've got that period simple video display in the middle showing fuel and temperature and oil and so on. It's in pretty good order. Okay, it's left-hand drive. Yes, it is. But is that a compromise worth living with to get into something like that at that sort of money? I don't know. Again, it will be a good test to see how the market does today with this one. Lovely. So this beauty is a Bristol 401. So Bristol didn't have a lot to do when aircraft production wound down at the end of World War II. They produced the 400, which was very much a BMW, I think a 328 based unit. But this one's the next generation. So the 401 is one of the so-called aerodyne cars, much more aerodynamic, benefited from going through Bristol's own wind tunnel, and it's got a CO2 of a 0.36. Now put that in context, Audi had a CO2 of something like 0.29 or something with an Audi maybe 40 years later. It is beautiful. I think the styling is by Carrozzeria. I'm trying to think who the company was now. Put it in the comments because I've temporarily forgotten. It is absolutely lovely. It's still got the BMW 2-litre engine and a 4-speed gearbox. The paintwork is honest. It's beautiful. Might benefit from a little bit of a buff. It's got that split screen. All the window rubbers appear to be present. Notice the nod to aerodynamics here. There's no door handle. That's the button to aid aerodynamics. It's an absolutely splendid looking car. Understated. And from many angles, I consider that to be quite beautiful, actually. It's sort of a bit of a jowett at the back there. Now, this particular car, let's have a look. Shall we have a look inside while we're here? It would be rude not to, wouldn't it? So, I think it is potentially a relative bargain. So, lot 728 is guided at £20,000 to £25,000. It's had way more spent on it than that. What do you think? Is it worth all the money? And more importantly, what will the bidders think to it? Let's see. So that menacing front end can only mean this is a Lamborghini Espada. Lot number 732 is a Series 3 car from 1975, and it's guided at £70,000 to £80,000. Now, in actual fact, these were on sale at similar money to a Miura back in the day, and look at the values of Miura. These haven't got anywhere near that. I think Harry Metcalf's car sold at about £130,000 to £140,000 back at the end of last year. Quite a long car there. I think the boot is more for ventilation than anything else. Shall we have a look inside? Well, I guess we have to, don't we, if it's open. And beautifully appointed inside, in pretty good order, I think you will agree. It will be interesting to see what people make of that. It's, you know, a Lamborghini from the 70s. Not yet had the classic magic dust in terms of values. Surely has to go a bit further. £70,000 to £80,000. Well, it's a beautiful colour, isn't it? Absolutely glorious. Let's see, shall we? This Lamborghini Urraco P250 2.5 litre V8 was originally a UK supply car, but ended up spending most of its life in Australia. The owner then felt it looked a bit too subtle and had a lot of the bodywork changed to the so-called silhouette style to give it a bit more of a purposeful look. And it's probably pretty rusty, having spent most of its life in Australia. Did he succeed in giving it a more purposeful, aggressive look? I'll let you answer that one. We've had a walk around the car. Now, lot number 733 is guided at £45,000 to £50,000. Doesn't sound like an awful lot of money for a Lamborghini, does it really? Let's have a look inside. Inside, a mixture of leather and cloth. Obviously manual there, clearly. Dash top has not suffered by being in Australia. It's incredible design. Is this Gandini? I can't remember. I'm on the hop with that one. But I tell you what, there are a few spots that would benefit for a bit of attention. But you know what? Actually, at that sort of money, getting into Lamborghini ownership has got to be quite an attractive proposition. Doesn't that look massively purposeful and aggressive from the back? What's the market price for this? Well, we're soon going to find out, aren't we? So let's see, shall we? This rather delightful Capri, it's a 3000E, not the GT. I think slightly less powerful than the GT, maybe only 10 brake horsepower. It's in a beautiful colour. It's in metallic evergreen. Metallics back in the sort of 70s weren't quite as hardy as the ones today, and this metallic evergreen example has really stood the test of time. Now, the interesting thing with this particular car, though it's not open unfortunately and the cars are squeezed in here, it was owned by a guy called Jack Sears. Does that ring any bells? Gentleman Jack Sears. He was the first touring car champion. When the touring car championship was established, he went wheel to wheel with people like Jackie Stewart. He was massively well known in the day, and this was his car, and it stayed with him and his family ever since they bought it, and they're just disposing of it now. There can be few Capris more original. There's a lot of interesting Capris anyway, but 3000Es maybe are the more refined choice, shall we say, than the GTs. I don't know. It looks in absolutely lovely order. Apologies, I'm struggling to get all the cars in shot here today because they're parked so close together. Well, 735 It says an odometer reader of 3,000 miles. I think it's been round the clock, so it's 103. It is guided at 25 to 30,000 pounds. Well, Capris in that condition full stop tend to do well, but this one, with that pedigree, what do you think? That could well be off the scale, couldn't it? Isn't it lovely? This is really an eyeful, isn't it? Beautiful paintwork on this Tomaso Pantera GT5 from 1984. Lot 737 is guided at a not inconsiderable 150 to 180,000 pounds. It's been at the Hampton Court Concours d'Elegance, so you don't get in there by just buying a ticket. You get sort of invited. This Pantera, they had a massively long life. They were so good that even Ford sold them officially or through their network in the US with the Ford engines supplied. I think Alessandro de Tomaso was actually Argentinian, though it doesn't sound like it, does it? This one is beautiful. I mean, that is an awful lot of money, but the paintwork is as good as it looks on camera. We're going to have a quick look inside because we can. And the ruched leather interior, what do you think to that? I'm not sure how comfortable the seats are, whether it's a typical Italian driving position, but it doesn't look half bad in there, does it? Is it £150,000 plus territory? I don't know in today's market, but one thing I can say, it is absolutely exceptionally well presented. Just the lights would pick up any imperfections, and I'm struggling to see them here. Let's get low down there. Good from every angle. Let's see what the bidders think of that one, shall we? So the E24 BMW 6 Series had a long career from 77 right the way through, and almost at the end of the line they produced this. This is a 1989 635 CSI Highline, so it's got a lot of the motorsport M Sport bits. It was bought as a retirement gift by a pharmacist who then exported it to Madeira and then brought the vehicle back, and it lived its life in the UK. It's done an incredible 34,000 miles for new, guided at 50 to 60,000, and just one apparently of 181 UK market cars. It's not without the odd blemish on it, but honestly, I'd take it in a heartbeat. I mean, that styling, they are known for having a lot of issues with rot, but quite honestly, I'd throw the dice with that one because it does look absolutely lovely. Apparently it was supplied originally by JCT up in Yorkshire, I think, but hasn't. It survived well. Yeah, if I had the odd 50 or 60,000 pounds going spare. The interior is not open, unfortunately, but I can see the dash is uncracked, which can be an issue on some BMWs of this age. But there you go. Drink that in. What do you think? Worth 50 to 60, or will it go for more? So if you wanted to know what walking into a VW showroom felt like in 1991, well, you probably would have seen one of these. And it's a Volkswagen Golf GTI, as you can see, Rivage Cabriolet, limited to I think about 400 units. Absolutely beautiful condition. Well, it would be. It's only got just over 4,000 miles on from new. First owner had it for 30 years. It's got the special edition Le Castellet. I think I've got that right. Probably killed that one, but the wheels, I mean, it is flawless. It's had a mechanical rework, probably belts and oil and everything changed, and tyres because of age. The hood is in great condition, absolutely great. The original dealer sticker, Fairways of Preston, or a good reproduction. Not a speck of rust on the car anywhere. Well, I think we should have a look inside this one. I think it's 20 to 25,000 pounds. Put that in context of some of the other cars, that makes it relatively expensive. Well, can we get into that side? Possibly not. It may well be locked simply because it's such low mileage, so apologies for that. If it is, yes, it appears to be, but never mind. From what I can see, I can't imagine that the interior is any worse than the exterior, and that is truly flawless. Get yourself a brand new 1991 Golf. Now this is a truly special car. It's one of only reckoned to be 800 made in this colour. What is it? Well, the clues on the side. Mustang sales were on fire in the early days when they launched the car. Carroll Shelby got involved and helped them develop something called the GT350. So what's the H? Well, it's an absolutely, by today's standards, madcap scheme that Hertz Rental had, where they would rent these to people so they could take them street racing at the weekend. So for $17 a day, you could actually rent one of these special 350Hs. Now, they made 800 of them. In actual fact, 800 were in this colour, and then they proceeded to make a further 200 in various other colours. It is a very, very special car. Isn't it a wonder that it actually survived? It's got plexiglass rear windows, other features, you know, really more for a racing car than a hire car. It seems in pretty good order, to be honest with you. The paintwork would probably benefit for a buff up, I suspect. It looks to be complete. I don't know. It says it's an all original car, and that would make it fairly special. So that's lot number 748, and that's guided at a not inconsiderable 140 to 160,000 pounds. It's a lot, but I guess what is the benchmark? How often do these actually come to sale? If you want one of these cars, then I guess you're going to have to grab what you can. Let's see what it makes, shall we? So Vauxhall had very grand designs with the Droop snoot, as it became called, Firenza. It was a 2.3 litre. They had plans to produce 1,000 of these a year. In the end, they produced 204. It just simply didn't sell well. It was the pricing new, and even now, lot number 750 at 30 to 35,000 pounds is a fraction of an RS. Ford Escort RS 2000. Now you've got to say to yourself, potentially this does look like the far better investment opportunity, given that prices have not really moved that much. They've gone up, but not as much as the Escorts. This one's beautifully prepared inside, isn't it? Let's have a quick look. The upholstery's stood the test of time here. The cloth seats have not sagged. I don't even think they've been retrimmed. They do look pretty original. The dashboard is uncracked. There is a lot to like with this car, isn't there? An awful lot to like. And it looks like it's got an original Vauxhall alarm on it. I'm not sure I fancy that. Old alarms tend to be a bit iffy, don't they? But will it reach its estimate, 30 to 35? Well, let's see what our bidders think of that one. I personally think it's absolutely lovely. Lot 757 is an original UK supplied 280SL R107 Mercedes. Now, the values of these varies enormously. This original UK supplied car, early-ish car, paintwork is good, but there are places where it's going to need a bit of work, a bit of drama going on there. Apparently it has less than 30,000 genuine miles on, guided at 25 to 30,000 pounds. It's got the desirable hardtop, as you can see. We'll have a look at the inside as well with this one. It's got the Swinford Motor Group sticker in the back window, the original Mercedes dealer back in the day, somewhere in the Midlands. I don't catch where that was. Nice colour, nice to see one of these that's in a different colour like this. MB Tex, is it? It certainly looks well cared for. I mean, it looks like it could well be 30,000 miles inside. What do you think? Certainly the seats look like that, don't they? Well, as always, we'll see what the market decides. Again, cars like this that come up for sale almost in every auction, this will be a good testament to see what the market actually thinks of this bottom rung of the 6-cylinder R107 SLs. Let's see, shall we? So Donald Healey didn't have the funds to create or take his sports car to production, and it soon became apparent that a partnership with Austin would work. So they used the bulkhead and I think part of the floor of the Austin Atlantic to create the original Healey, I think Healey 100. This is a Healey 3000. What makes this one special? Wait for it, it's a 1967 car, and it is one owner from new. I repeat that, one owner from new. Seen little use since the early 1970s when the owner got a company car and put this in the garage. It's going to need paint. I think at some stage it might have been repainted already. But where are you going to find a car with that provenance? So lot 759, if you're interested, is 30 to 35,000 pounds. It's going to take a bit of work to get it there, but as a good base for a restoration, it's not too bad actually, is it? Let's have a look inside, shall we? It looks like it's got the original radio there. I mean, this car's probably about as original as you get. It's got the original bill of sale. It was picked up from BMC directly by the owner from their distribution depot for whatever reason, and he's hung on to it ever since, and he's now parting with it. Well, I'm not sure if I could part with a car after owning it for 59 years. What do you think? Is the originality more important than the current condition? Let's see, shall we? So this is apparently one of only 3 built. It's a Bentley S1 Coupé, but with coachwork by James Young. And honestly, this car, when I saw this in the catalogue before I came to the show, I was smitten, but now I've seen it, I'm absolutely in love with it. It is truly elegant. It's a 1957 car coming out of long-term ownership. Lot 762 is guided at 35 to 40,000 pounds, which quite honestly is not unreasonable. The hand painted pinstripes you can see there, beautifully elegant from every angle. Some of those touches that James Young's coachwork gave it over the standard pressed steel bodied cars are quite considerable. But I'm going to have a look inside because I did see this one was open. I've already had a cheeky look and I tell you I did like it, so I'm going to share that with you. Beautiful proper walnut cappings here, very good condition inside, loads and loads of legroom. Sorry, it's a bit dark there on the camera, maybe the light's not picking it up. It's got a column gear change. I think these were what, 4 litres, something like that. It's even got a factory roof. Goodness, if that doesn't leak. Okay, it's a coupe, not the 4-door, but you know what, it's incredibly stylish. I really rate this one. I hope this one really goes to a good home. Is it worth 35 to 40,000 pounds? Well, to the right buyer, yes. And honestly, if I had that burning a hole in my pocket, I would find room for it. Who wouldn't? It is just, well, it's just epic, isn't it? I'm going to have to step away from that one. I'm getting a bit carried away. Absolutely beautiful. So DeLoreans are not seen that often at auction, but this one's a very early one. Was sourced for a father for his son on his 18th birthday, maybe 20 odd years ago. Bought from the US. It's got some early design features like the filler cap in the bonnet, which was abandoned later due to cost. It's got pretty stock mechanicals, as all of them. Got the sort of Lotus-inspired backbone chassis. It's got the, I think it's the Renault, Peugeot, Volvo engine that was used. Is it PRV unit? Probably got that wrong. That was used in many cars. So I guess the mechanicals must be reasonably easy to get bits for. There's a guy in the US, I think, has got enough parts to rebuild these anyway. Brushed aluminium, built in Belfast. You know the controversy surrounding it and how Back to the Future brought it to life. Apparently not great to drive, according to Chris Harris. But you know what? Quite honestly, I'd still have one despite all of that. And this one's guided at 30 to 35,000 pounds. That's lot number 770. What do you think of that? Is that too much money for one of these? Let's see. Esteemed touring car racer, the famous Andy Rouse, decided he wanted to produce a Sierra Sapphire Cosworth 4x4 that was to his own specification. and this is one of 78 that were produced. Power's increased from, I think, 220 base, from memory I'm going here, maybe wrong, to 260 horsepower, but actually a bit lower down the rev range being delivered. You can see there are some subtle styling changes, like the spoiler. It is actually badged as Rouse Sport. Here, the kit on the side, again, is all relatively subtle, which I can live with, actually, compared to some of the Larry examples I've seen in the past. This spoiler maybe needs a bit of repainting, doesn't look too clever, but that's the only weak point I can see so far. It does look in extraordinarily good condition, doesn't it? I would say. The bandwagon for these has rolled on. I can remember when they were maybe £10,000, not for a long time, yeah. So lot number 780 is guided at £30,000 to £35,000, and it's got 89,000 miles, so not too over on the mileage. What do you think? How does that compare to something like a standard car? Well, fortunately, we've got the 785 here. This is a two-wheel drive car, £43,000, but for lower budgets, £32,000 to £42,000, and it's not in bad condition either. Actually, you could take your pick. Interested to see what the market makes of those, and whether it actually sees the Rouse car being worth so much more than this rather splendid looking two-wheel drive example. Fitted with twin Webers, it is an RS2000 X-Pack. So the X-Pack was available from dealers, a bit more performance, obviously got the in-your-face body kit there. Pretty rare to see them with the factory X-Pack or dealer fit X-Pack, take your pick. This one was originally supplied, I think, to a squaddy in Germany. It is, it's immaculate under there. Whether it's absolutely correct, I'd have to get an RS2000 aficionado to tell me. But you know what? Lot number 781 is guided at £60,000 to £70,000, and it may well be worth £60,000 to £70,000. What do you think? I really like it. I'm not sure I like it in black. It's got the I think it's got the wider RS alloys. They look pretty wide to me. What do you think? That brown interior, is it open? Unfortunately not. We can't have a look inside. Supplied by Haynes and Maidstone. I don't think so. But what a lovely car. Escort fever, Ford fever. Let's see, shall we? So for the purposes of scale, we'll have a look at the next car next to a Bentley. It's lot number 787. It is a beautiful Fiat Abarth 750 Alemanno Spider. I've probably got that terribly wrong. It says it's fragile, don't touch the windscreen. Probably never get one of those again. It is in beautiful order. In actual fact, very limited production run on these. It's guided at £25,000 to £30,000, and it could well be worth all the money. I think it's got the 747cc engine. You're going to have something that's absolutely flawless in terms of condition. You probably reach across this car from the outside. It's pretty basic inside. I don't know if it should have had carpets, or it didn't, or maybe it needs some. But that's a minor problem, isn't it? What do you think? It is pretty, isn't it? Some lovely details there, like the fluting on the back. Obviously, clearly rear-engined. The chrome work's good. The lights are good. Actually, I'm struggling to see, apart from needing a carpet, and some wipers. Might struggle with those. What you'd actually do, what you'd actually have to do to that car if you bought it. It's a cute little thing, isn't it? Is it worth that sort of money? Well, maybe it is to a collector of these. So Charles Spencer King came up in the late 60s with a design for something called the Range Rover. Original cars were actually badged Velar when they were undergoing road tests by the factory. It's a Suffix A car, which means it's one of the early ones. But look where the prices are now. Lot number 788 is guided at 35 to 40. I thought these would have been a lot more than this. I think they were. I think they're actually finding they're settling in the market at far lower levels. I'm sure these were changing hands for significant sums of money, but I don't think it diminishes this car in any way. You've got a very early car, 73 I guess. Let's have a look, see if it's open inside. Unfortunately it's not. The original seats, the plastic seats, have been replaced, like all of them, because they just break up. But you know what, in terms of the period features of the proper wing mirrors rather than door mirrors, it looks pretty period correct, and it looks very, very usable. But will it make that sort of guide price, or will it go over? I'm not sure. And now for something completely different, as they say. This is a 1963 Mini Mark 1 from, what, 4th year of production? That would make it, wouldn't it? It's been sold to aid a children's hospice, so great cause there. Guided at £5,000 to £8,000, looks relatively solid, beautiful colour, isn't it? But does require some recommissioning, as you can see. The paint's not the best, but honestly, it is probably easily usable, MOT exempt. Although I wouldn't personally drive it without having somebody look over it. It's got the sliding windows there, which the early cars had. It's obviously got those fantastic door handles, and it looks pretty original. Not over restored inside. In fact, no, it would benefit from that. It's got that very long Wanderer gear change. I think it may even have the button on the floor to dip the lights, as the early cars had. Apart from that, it's as basic as you can get. Good old ashtray in there. And look how much room in a car that's so small. You can understand how families went away on holiday. Is it worth 5 to 6? Well, to the right person, possibly more. I'd certainly give that sort of money for it, I must admit. I think that would make an absolutely lovely car fully restored, wouldn't it? So thanks again for watching Lot 76 cars from the iconic Auctioneers auction at Race Retro. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.